Season 2 of Black Ops 6 is finally dropped, fixing a whole lot of bugs and improving the overall quality of life on the game. So for today, I have for you the new best settings if you want to do the best and actually enjoy the update. For the first setting, I recommend to turn off dismember and gore effects. This is going to make it so your game doesn't crash as much, as well as reduce a lot of packet bursts. There's a new bug in the game that if you're in the firing range or if you're creating a class while queuing, your game will crash. This is what saved it for me. Another thing that's going to be very helpful, although this might just be on PC, and I know a lot of you guys are on console, but just in case, I'll show you guys. Basically, go over to your graphics side, tab over to quality, turn off, on the on-demand texture streaming, have this on optimized, cache size 32, and then turn off download limits. This will reduce all your packet bursts. Won't save you completely, but it definitely helped me and so many others. Now we're going to be going over the controller settings. I've hit iridescent multiple times, so I'd say incredible to show you guys the right stuff. This is going to be my, oh shit, I just dropped it. This is my controller. I use an Xbox Elite V2. I keep all the settings on here default. I literally only use this because of the paddles, and it's a pretty heavy controller. Another thing that you guys see is my tall vortex control freak. This is insanely beneficial for your aim. It basically allows you to finely adjust your aim, allowing you to easily snap onto targets, and you get like a better grip. I highly recommend you guys to go to controlfreak.com and purchase some vortex control freaks. The only downside is that once you're used to them, you'll never be able to use regular thumbsticks again. Like, I literally have been using this since I was 13 years old, and if you do want to support me, use code CBAS at checkout. You'll get a nice little discount there. Now for the sensitivities, I like 1.42. This is a very slow sensitivity, but allows me to have very good centering, and that good centering leads to very good aim. And when I'm playing like in the iridescent matches, I can't really afford to miss. This allows me to literally hit every shot super easily. Although 1.65 is pretty good, I would stick between like 1.4 and 1.65. I believe if you want to get to like the 10th value, you'll have to plug in a keyboard, so that's like one disadvantage. Another disadvantage that console is that. And so if you're on console, I guess do like 1.5. You can go into a private match and just play against bots and just, you know, try to find one where you just have very good centering and you can just overall be very consistent on the game. That's the biggest thing. You want to be consistent. You can get used to any sensitivity. Now for the controller vibration, obviously have this off. The less things vibrating in your hands should lead to better aim. For the dead zone inputs, not going to go too in depth with all this just because I already have, but left stick min, my guy automatically walks forward by himself, but I would rather have him be a little bit more responsive. So if I need to do a quick dash or something, it's going to register faster. And so I usually have it on 0 or 1. For the left stick max, I have it at 70. This basically makes it so I can get to max movement speed if I move the stick from the center to 70% instead of having to move it all the way to the edge to get to that max movement speed. The lowest I would go is 45 and the highest I would go is about 75. But the right stick min, I have a lot of stick drift, but if I have it on anything past 5, I feel like my aim is less responsive, and so I just really like 5. On new controllers, I'll do like 3. For the right stick max, I have mine at 99. Left trigger, right trigger, you want this on 0, so that means the second you hit the trigger, it should fire on the game. If you do for some reason want a threshold on there, I don't know why you would, then you can swap the bumpers with the triggers, and so then you're going to be able to like trigger finger a little bit faster. For the aiming, we're going to be going over to the aiming advanced settings. We're going to want to have the ADS sensitivity transition timing on gradual. I'll explain this in a little bit, but gradual is going to be the one that's better for most people. Some pros still use instant, so it really is up to you. Basically, so that makes it so for your sensitivity multiplier, I have mine at 0.85. So when I'm looking around the map, it's at like 1.42. And then when I do ADS, it's like at 85% of that. So it's a little bit slower. And the gradual makes it so it gradually, as your ADS, will go down to the 85. People would say that makes you inconsistent, but it just like, it helps you lock on the targets. Like when I did that, I was starting to get like some crazy aimbot like aim, give and aim assist is kind of doing everything. And that's why we have dynamic. Dynamic gives you so much aim assist. I don't really know why people use standard or linear because that feels like an older Call of Duty. The newer Call of Duties are so sticky because of dynamic. All the pros use dynamic for a reason. But the aim response curve slope, so if you lower this, it basically brings you closer to linear or standard. And so it just kind of lowers the amount of aim assist. Sometimes people do want that lower though because aim assist can mess you up, especially if multiple targets are running across your screen. I believe Havoc, the #1 player in this game, he has is at 0.92. I don't really mess with it, so I just keep it at 1.0. Custom sensitivity per zoom, I have mine off, but if you're a sniper, you could turn this on, and then so when you do quit scope, you can do the drag shot a little bit easier without necessarily messing up your centering. And then motion sensor doesn't really matter. For the movement, we're going to turn off all the mantle assists. You don't really need help mantling. It's going to make it so you accidentally mantle in a gunfight, and so now you're going to be a little bit more consistent on the game. Mantle assist angle tight, crouch assist off, and then corner slide. Some people say this will give you a nice like peeker's advantage, but it doesn't really. It's just a visual thing for you. It doesn't give you any advantage whatsoever. And then for the slide slash dive behavior, make sure this is on hybrid. If you have it on anything else, there's going to be a weird delay if you try to dolphin dive, or if you slide, it's going to make you feel like you're playing in mud. This is going to eliminate all those, and so then it's just going to be very, very responsive. For the sprint restore on, slide maintain sprint on, parachute automatic behavior off. There's a bug in Warzone right now where if you fly in, like on your initial drop, it puts you into like a third person parachute view. Supposedly if you load your settings from the cloud and then redo all them on here, it fixes that, although I haven't really tested that. Mantle cancels reload off, movement advanced settings. We are going to keep everything basically default on here, but you want to have the single tap sprint. So yes, we have automatic tactical sprint on, but this is still make it, oh sorry, single tap run. See, the update resets a lot of your settings. This is going to make it so the second you tap that left stick, if you're like laying down or something, he just instantly stands up and basically removes a lot of the delays. This game is full of delays. We're trying to cut down on those delays so everything feels a lot more fluid. And again, you want for your sprint assist, have it on tactical sprint assist. Previous Call of Duties, I would just have it on, so then I would have to click the left stick once if I wanted to get into attack sprint. But in this game, you're sliding into every gunfight, and so you're not really like getting caught sprinting ever in this game, to where this is going to be a little bit more beneficial and helps you break cameras easier, because you can just instantly tack sprint around a corner and jump, and it just, you know, you see the enemy first. And then make sure you guys do show more, and then turn down the delay, and then turn on the sprint assist sideways and the backward. There has been a huge outrage of players complaining about skill-based damage because of clips like this, but really it's just bad servers leading to major desync, which is a huge problem. But today I have a solution: No Lag VPN. No Lag VPN has been widely used since Warzone 1, and I actually kickstarted my channel with it because it gave me a way smoother connection as well as easier lobbies, so it was a lot easier to actually get consistent gameplays. No Lag VPN gives you a better connection by optimizing your network specifically for gaming traffic and routing data through servers that are closest to you, which also helps reduce SPMM since you'll be matching up whoever is closest to you rather than whoever has the same skill as you. You'll also experience faster queue times, and so will your friends if they're in your party. You'll even be protected from shadow bans, which we all know is a huge problem going on right now. Plus, your data will be protected from all the rage hackers in game, so you don't have to worry about being booted offline or someone stealing your information. So if you want a lag-free experience, protected data, and easier lobbies, I definitely recommend checking out No Lag VPN today. And if you use my link, you'll get a whopping 62% off, so definitely take advantage of it. For the combat settings, we're gonna have the ADS sight behavior on hold, weapon mount activation. Typically only like boomers will mount, and Call of Duty has literally no recoil. I don't even know why people think you need a Cronus. There's no recoil in the game. You don't need a mantle ever. Maybe if you're like high as shit or something, but I would just have that off. Dedicated melee weapon activation, hold melee. Body shield slash finishing mode behavior. I like to you know, violate the enemy, so I have it on prioritized body shield. Armor plate behavior, apply all. C4 detonation activation, apply all at once. Equipment behavior, hold. Manual fire behavior, hold. Combat advanced settings, we're gonna have this on prioritize interact. You could do prioritize reload if you want, but typically if you go to reload, you're already gonna be in a safe area, so I don't mind holding the reload for a millisecond. It's nice if I'm like right about to run out of ammo and there's an enemy challenging me and I see a gun on the ground, I can pick up that gun, or if I kill the enemy as I'm running over their body, their gun usually, like as you kill them, it's like falling, so you can pick it up out of the air, and then you have like a gun that has like more ammo. And if you're playing Warzone, this makes it so you can reload a little bit faster, but takes a long time to get used to, and you still kind of mess yourself up, but once you're used to it, it is so much better, I promise you. Sprint cancels reload off. Akimbo behavior paired, ADS stick swap off. Depleted ammo weapon switch on. That stuff doesn't really matter too much. Scoreboard map stats behavior toggle, overlay advanced settings. Feel free to copy all of these things. In Warzone, if I don't have it on directional buttons, I won't be able to, like, you know, call in streaks. It's kind of weird. And then you want to turn off all of these delays. I don't know why they're, oh no, actually, yeah, okay, if you have you want these on, like, you want the ping wheel delay on moderate, or else it makes it so you can't call in streaks. I hope they fixed it by now, but like I would imagine that this update made it even worse because they just, I don't know what they're doing in the offices. Anyways though, now for the graphic settings, if you're on console, some of this stuff you won't see on yours, but still just, like, you know, stay tuned through here because some things will apply to you. I'm just trying to, you know, help out everyone that's watching this video. Display mode, I'll make sure that's on full screen exclusive. I'm just a streamer, so I need to use my other monitors, and it's very annoying to like have to tab out all the time, and then my nose is insanely itchy. Restart, stuff doesn't matter. Copy all of these. NVIDIA reflex low latency on. I had it on plus boost, but my game runs a lot better on even though I have like a 4090. Eco mode preset, custom VSync gameplay off, VSync menus off, custom frame rate Normally in the menus, I have it at like 60 and 30, and then in game, you know, max that out. And then for the reduce menu render resolution, native, pause game rendering off, reduce quality when inactive off, focus mode 10, high dynamic range off, quality. And now we're going to be going through here. We basically just want to like turn down all the settings that we can so we can maximize like how consistent your game runs. You don't want to like screen tear or anything. I literally have the best gaming PC you can possibly get, but I still, you know, don't play on the max settings. Render resolution 100, dynamic resolution off, upscale / sharpening. You need to have this on fidelity. It makes it so your game is so much more clear. You're going to be able to see a lot of the enemies. A lot of time everyone looks dead laying on the floor in those weird angles. This makes it a little bit easier to spot those enemies. And then I like to max out the cast strength to 100. The lowest I would go is like 50, but you can go in a private match and see what you like, but most of you guys will like the 100. Nvidia, yeah, have all this off. Texture resolution, usually I have mine on actually on high just because I'm streaming, trying to make the videos look the best. But if I was just trying to do the best of the best, I'll have it on normal. Texture filter anastrophic, supposedly this doesn't add any FPS, so I just have it on ultra. Depth of field off. Detail quality low, particle resolution very low. Bullet impacts, you get more FPS with this on, with this off. But I like to kind of see where I'm shooting when I'm making those class setup videos, which if you do want to see those, make sure you subscribe with the noties on. And then for the persistent effects off, shader quality low, on-demand texture streaming optimized. This is what I was going over before. Make sure download limits is off. It might not help everyone, but it definitely helped me. Local texture streaming quality low, and then shadow quality very low. Screen space shadows high. This makes it so your camos look better, but if you want more FPS, have that off. Screen space lightning off. Screen space reflections high. Again, this is only tied into your camos. Static reflection quality low. Tessellation off. Volumetric quality low. If you have this on like high, it just makes everything a lot more blurry, and so that's one reason why we kind of want to turn these down. Deferred physics quality off. Weather grid volumes off. Water quality off. It's actually crazy when you have like these things on, like the game glows a lot more. Like if you have the lighting on vault, it's like the sun moves, and it's pretty crazy like how much more light is in the game, but it like blinds you and things like that. It's kind of cool though. And so for the field of view, if I'm trying to do the best, if I'm playing Modern Warfare 3 rank play, I'm gonna have it on 103. A lot of the pro players playing like 97, 98. This kind of ties into that centering and having good aim. This makes it so all the targets are a little bit bigger, and so then it's just, you know, it's easier to hit your shots. Multiplayer, the maps are a lot tinier to where you don't need a bigger field of view. And so again, if you're sweating, have it on a lower one. It's going to be astronomically better. Like if I'm trying to go against iridescence top 250s with like my usual FOV, I just get fried. It's hard to hit my shots, but night and day difference when I lower it. 115 though is pretty fun, so that's why usually in pubs I'll just have it on high so I can just run around, have a good time on the game, make it feel like I'm moving around very fast. Warzone, you can increase this all the way up to like 120 because the map's so big, so you actually get a lot of information. It's just multiplayer, the maps are tiny, so you don't really need that much. ADS field of view affected. Weapon field of view, you're going to want to have this on wide. Third person field of view 90. Vehicle field of view default. World motion blur and weapon motion blur off. Sorry, I'm burping a bunch. Turn all these lower. You just don't want anything to move. Prismo, I'm trying to record a settings video. What are you doing? I think he asked you guys to like the video. Now it's going to wrap it up for graphics. Over to the audio settings. This is going to be so insanely helpful. I got you guys with the best stuff. So over here, personal preference a little bit. You guys can just, you know, adjust that based off your devices. And then we are going to be, I like to have my microphone level 100, so I'm the loudest in the lobby. And then there's, oh, I think they might have taken it out. Basically, you used to be able to like edit the frequencies on here, but I think they took that out. So the frequencies allowed you to like really be able to hear every footstep, and I like fine-tuned it perfectly and helped out a lot of people, but it seems like it's gone. So I guess if they add that back, I'll do another settings video. Maybe they took that off, so I don't know, just so the dads on TVs are more in line with people with headsets or something. I don't know. Interface stuff on here, people always skip this part of the video, but they always miss out on like crucial information. Again, like these things don't really matter, but if we basically go over to the color customization, actually, okay, let's start with the gameplay HUD. We're going to do the HUD balance. We're going to make sure this is all in as possible, so you don't have to you know, look to the corner like as far, so you can check your minimap. When I'm playing the game, I check my minimap like 200 times per game. Like every second I'm looking at the minimap, because it tells you literally everything. Even if it doesn't have anything on the screen, you see where your teammates are, it tells you where the enemies are. And so that just makes it so it's easier to see the minimap. Again, you want this on square so you can see more of the minimap, getting more information, and you always want to look at that. I'm just trying to make it clear. Like what separates a good and bad player is that the good player is going to look at the minimap hundreds of times in the game, and the bad player checks it like 10 times. So the minimap rotation on, radar off. Compass type, we're gonna have that on minimap. The compass things are so annoying. I guess you could have that off, but it might turn off your minimap. And then for the crosshair, you want this on static. This makes it so it's a little bit easier to hip fire. You're gonna have those like dashes on there, and just easier to center. That white dot is so insanely crucial. You want to move around the map while you're passive aiming, so all you have to do is ADS in fire. You don't have to ADS drag over then fire, and that's why we're playing on a lower sense, not necessarily just for like, you know, the aim. And then for the hit marker visuals on, damage based hit markers on, keep all of these things basically the same on there. It seems like it, okay, here it is. Here's the HUD presets. Have it on standard, and then you can basically edit everything on here. Tab over to the colors. You can adjust the colors to your liking. For me, I just like to have my team green and party blue. And then color filter targets, color filter is going to be on 2, makes everything the most vibrant. Color filter target both, and then you want to max both of those out. That's going to make everything feel so much more clear on the game. And then I'm missing one thing within the crosshair. I think if you go show more in here, yeah, you can make sure the crosshair dot's on. Center dot scale, I have it on larger. I can't really see that well if I have it on default. And then if I'm on like a TV, where I would imagine if you're on a big TV, you probably want to do largest. But on like a regular monitor, larger should be fine unless you're a child and you have like hawk vision. Crosshair spread on, crosshair opacity 100, crosshair color, I like to have it on cyan. Completely up to you, but I believe like the human eye picks up like yellow and then the blue the fastest. It's just like the blue to me just really helps out, and that yellow kind of blends in. Everything else on here doesn't really matter. Remember, if you're getting like some weird settings that you can't find a setting for, you can turn on clouded settings and then adjust all your settings on here, and sometimes it fixes a couple bugs within the game. Feel free to have all of these things on. And I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. Nothing really changed in the update, but I just want to show you guys a good update video that, you know, so you can just get all the settings in line. Since some of them do reset, but they didn't really necessarily add that many settings. They actually took out settings. But with all the yapping out of the way, make sure you guys leave a like if it was helpful. I hope you guys enjoy the update, and I pray you don't get any pack burst doses.